Damar Hamlin is in critical condition at a Cincinnati hospital after collapsing on the field.
And we're hoisting that trophy together, man.
Declared cancer-free just a couple of months ago.
These are some of the most heartbreaking moments in NFL history. Let's kick things off by winding the clock back to the moment that feels like it's straight out of a Hollywood script. We're talking about the Oakland Raiders, a team synonymous with the motto, "Just win, baby." And behind that motto was Al Davis, the fiery soul who shaped the NFL. When Davis passed away in October 2011, the whole league felt the loss. The very next day, the Raiders faced off against the Houston Texans in an emotionally charged game. They honored Davis with a moment of silence and wore helmets bearing his initials. With the game on the line, Michael Huff made a play that felt like destiny, intercepting a pass that sealed a Raiders victory. The scene after the game? Head coach Hugh Jackson on one knee, tears streaming down his face. Huff later said to the Associated Press, "This win is for him," in a twist that seemed guided by the hand of Davis himself. The Raiders lined up with just 10 men for that crucial play. It didn't matter. They won for Al Davis in a way that he would have loved. Unconventional and utterly unforgettable. Let's dive into a story that's all heart and courage. It's back in 2012, and we're looking at the Indianapolis Colts. That year was a real challenge for them, not just on the field, but off it too. Their head coach, Chuck Pagano, had to step away to battle leukemia. But in steps Bruce Arians, the offensive coordinator, taking the reins and steering the team through stormy seas. By the end of the season, they're standing tall at 10-5. And just when you think it can't get any more movie-like, Pagano returns to the sidelines for the Week 17 showdown against the Houston Texans. He shared, saying, "The best medicine that I received was just watching them play week in and out." The Colts weren't just playing football that day, they were playing for something bigger. With their playoff spot already locked in, they didn't let up, dominating the Texans in a game that felt decided before it even started. The cherry on top? A video tribute to Pagano that shook the stadium with cheers, even getting love from the Texans side. Talk about a comeback story. Let's keep the energy going with a tale that's all about Eric Berry, Kansas City Chiefs safety who faced an opponent tougher than any on the field, Hodgkin's lymphoma. Diagnosed just shy of his 26th birthday, Berry made a vow that would echo through the hearts of many. He'd be back. Fast forward 10 months, and the stage was set at Arrowhead Stadium for a comeback that would send waves of inspiration far beyond the gridiron. September rolled around, and there he was, stepping back onto the field to a roaring welcome that could possibly be heard miles away. This moment wasn't just a win for Berry, it was a victory for hope, for resilience, and for the indomitable spirit that lies within us all. Sure, the Chiefs didn't clinch a win against the Denver Broncos that day, but the scoreboard was the last thing on anyone's mind. The real triumph was Berry's remarkable return to professional football in under a year after his diagnosis, proving that some battles are bigger than the game itself. And just when you thought the applause couldn't get any louder, Berry turned up the heat in late October with a play that had Arrowhead Stadium shaking. Diving for an interception against the Pittsburgh Steelers, he snagged his first pick since making his inspirational return. Now, moving on to another unforgettable moment in NFL history, one that goes beyond the football field. The scene is set during the halftime of an Indianapolis Colts game against the St. Louis Rams, turning a regular NFL game into an unforgettable moment of appreciation and joy. With the backdrop of Veterans Day and the salute to service, the Colts, along with punter Pat McAfee, orchestrated a surprise that would leave everyone reaching for tissues. Army Sergeant First Class Jeremy Eno was serving in Afghanistan, leaving his wife Kristen and their sons Dominique and David to face life's challenges without him. When their family car broke down, it seemed like just another hurdle. But here comes McAfee, not just with a plan for a surprise homecoming, but with a generous heart, purchasing a new SUV for the Eno family. Yet the real surprise was cleverly hidden within this generous gift. With the help of the team mascot Blue, the unveiling of the new car was actually the stage for the emotional climax. Jeremy, home from his tour of duty, ready to embrace his family. But that wasn't the first time the NFL went straight for the heartstrings. Back in May 2015, there was this incredible kid, Braylon Beam, who was only 6, and he just took over everyone's heart when he appeared on the Ellen DeGeneres Show. With a smile that could light up the darkest rooms, Braylon launched the #JustKeepDancing challenge, a beacon of joy and resilience amidst the storm of chemotherapy treatments for his brain tumor. But Braylon's dreams soared beyond the dance floor. He shared his dream of coaching the Carolina Panthers, and like a script from the most heartwarming movie, the team welcomed him as an honorary coach for their Fan Fest practice in August. The bond between Braylon and the team was instant, a reminder that sometimes dreams do come closer to reality than we ever imagined. However, the pinnacle of Braylon's journey unfolded in late September at the Bank of America Stadium. Just days after receiving the uplifting news that his tumor was shrinking, Braylon took center stage. In a moment that felt like the crescendo of an inspiring symphony, he banged the Keep Pounding drum, an honor echoing the legacy of Sam Mills, a former linebacker and coach who also battled cancer. The stadium erupted in cheers as Braylon, channeling his inner superhero, ripped open his white t-shirt to reveal a Superman jersey beneath, a nod to Cam Newton's iconic touchdown celebration. Speaking of iconic, let's not forget one that's deeply ingrained in the heart of New Orleans, the Saints clinching that Super Bowl victory in February 2010. Drew Brees cradling his son, a symbol of hope, rebirth, and endless possibilities. Yet even that heartwarming snapshot doesn't quite capture the emotional whirlwind unleashed by Steve Gleason's monumental blocked punt on September 25, 2006. This wasn't just a game, it was New Orleans taking a defiant stand, with Gleason tearing through to block that punt, leading to a touchdown that had the Superdome shaking with joy. It was more than a game, it was a reclaiming of home, a loud statement that echoed, "We're here, we're standing strong." Wright Thompson, marking a decade since Katrina, penned a deep dive into the heart and soul of a city reborn from tragedy, capturing the indomitable spirit of its people. He recounts a story from Shaq Brown, who was there, who felt the weight of the moment as Gleason blocked that punt, a memory so potent yet spoken of with a reverence that underscores its significance. The Superdome, once a refuge in the city's darkest hours, roared back to life that night, not just as a venue for football, but as a beacon of hope and strength. And Gleason, facing his own battle with ALS, saw that act of defiance, that moment of healing, immortalized outside the Superdome with the Rebirth statue in 2012. Turning the page to a story marked by tragedy but remembered for its profound unity and remembrance, Sean Taylor's legacy is one of promise, talent, and heartbreaking loss. A star whose light was extinguished too soon. Taylor's journey from a national champion at Miami to a revered figure in the NFL. Drafted 5th overall by the Washington Redskins in 2004, Taylor's career was a meteoric rise, earning him spots in 2 Pro Bowls. Yet, in a twist of fate that left the world reeling, Taylor's life was tragically cut short at 24, when armed intruders shot him in his Florida home in November 2007. His passing sent shockwaves far beyond the football field, stirring a profound outpouring of grief and solidarity. In a tribute that transcended the game, the Washington Redskins honored Taylor in a manner as touching as it was powerful. In their next game against the Buffalo Bills, the defense took the field with just 10 men, leaving Taylor's position vacant. Reed Doughty, Taylor's teammate, stood on the sidelines in a poignant acknowledgement that Taylor was with them in spirit for one last play. This gesture, unbeknownst to Coach Joe Gibbs until it unfolded, was more than a tribute. It was a silent yet profound declaration of love, respect, and the lasting impact of Sean Taylor's legacy on his team and the entire NFL community. Now, let's take a step back to a cold night in December 2003. We're talking about Brett Favre, a name synonymous with Packers glory, right in the midst of an emotional whirlwind. His dad, Irvin, had just passed away the day before a crucial game against the Oakland Raiders. Favre, torn between grief and duty, decided to step onto the field, a decision that led to an unforgettable night of football. Under the bright lights and the watchful eyes of millions, Favre delivered a performance for the ages, hurling 4 touchdowns and amassing 311 yards in the first half alone. The Packers claimed a resounding victory, but the night belonged to Favre and his father. In an emotional-charged post-game interview, Favre shared that his father's love for the game and his family fueled his extraordinary performance. It was a heartwarming reminder of the unbreakable bond between a father and his son. and the healing power of the game they both cherished. Now shifting gears to a more recent touching moment in NFL history, the league paid a heartfelt tribute to Damar Hamlin during the NFL Honors Ceremony, a moment that went beyond just sports. Hamlin's fight back to health after a terrifying on-field cardiac arrest became a rallying point for not just the NFL community, but for people worldwide. His presence at the NFL Honors, flanked by the medical heroes from the Bills, Bengals, and the University of Cincinnati Medical Center, was a testament to the miracles wrought by unity, skill, and sheer willpower. In his heartfelt address, Hamlin reflected on the unexpected journey that unfolded from his ordeal, weaving a narrative of gratitude, purpose, and the boundless strength found in communal support. He paid special tribute to the ICU doctor whose shared experience offered a beacon of hope in his darkest hour. Though the journey to the Super Bowl was not to be for his team, Hamlin's tribute at the State Farm Stadium, introduced alongside those who stood by him through his health battle, it was a deeply moving moment. Continuity and the beauty of new beginnings. Honestly, the depth of emotion in these NFL moments is unparalleled. But just as I can't foresee the next heart-stopping play, I can't guess your next move. Will you move on, or will you dive deeper into the heart of the game with the video on screen? Trust me, it's a simple choice. Click on the video to witness our next video.